The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it. We're back up to it and ready to rock. So the truck comes off a lease. I'm going to go into another vehicle.
There you go.
I might go back into a muscle car to Kelly's dismay.
If I needed a vehicle, my model is buy your leftovers. That's what I did with your last truck.
Well,
the Explorer has been running swimmingly.
Yes. It's a wonderrul vehicle.
I have done very little to it,
and I'm surprised. I thought for sure you were going to have it for a week and wreck it.
No, I don't. I won't let anybody drive it. The good news is my wife doesn't listen to the show.
Right.
So we don't have her driving either. Now she doesn't listen.
Attorney John Murphy's with us right now. He's the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. How are you, John?
I'm doing great. And actually, Judy said she listens to the show when you're not on it.
She edits out all the Steve parts and listens to me. I get it. Yeah. That's wonderful. Attorney John Murphy, you've had workshops and experience and everything in this world. I know several people have come up to me recently and said that they use your services for their parents. And some people had parents who were already in nursing homes, and a couple of them had them that weren't in nursing homes. So you take care of both types of people, right?
Yeah. When it comes to Medicaid, pre-planning for Medicaid, we're worried about long-term care, we're worried about nursing homes. How do we protect our stuff? Yeah. We do that, and we have a great process that we do it by. Everything we do is kind of systematized, and we have this huge spreadsheet called Asset Alignment Tracker, and the importance of that comes up every once in a while. So we're doing Medicaid now for someone who's in a nursing home. Yeah. And they had done a trust with a different attorney, and they got the house in the trust. That's the easy part. But there was an investment account worth about $350,000 the family thought was in the trust.
Yeah.
It didn't get put in the trust. So now they're going to lose a good chunk of that.
Yeah, explain funding a trust, because I think that people set up trusts and go, I'm good. And you just described that maybe not.
Funding.
So,
the technical term is funding, right? A trust is this big legal box, if you will. It's like a safe deposit box. So if you went to the bank and got a safe deposit box, but you never put anything into it, nothing's protected. So same thing with a trust, right?
Yeah.
And how you put it in there is you change the name on the title. So for my wife and I, John and Jan, if we owned our home jointly, the new owner is John and Jan Murphy Family Trust, okay? Bank accounts, investment accounts, life insurance policies, whatever it is that we recommend go into the trust, you have to do some paperwork and change the name.
So what if someone said, hey, I don't get the key to that for 5 years because of the whole look-back thing? Is that true?
Well, what do you mean by the key?
The key to the safety deposit box, taking your analogy. So I put things in there.
Let's not use those technical legal terms.
So there we go. So I put things in there, but, if mom's in long-term care, some people would say it's too late.
Yeah, some people have apprehension about not being able to have access to the trust.
Well, so specifically with the Irrevocable Asset Protection Trust, our clients are always the trustee, right? And the trustee is in charge of the trust. Now, if you need that money to live on, it can't go into the trust. Okay, here's what the trust says. You can never, ever, ever take the money that you put into the trust and take it back out and give it to yourself or give it to your creditors. Mm-hmm. That's what protects it. You can't have both things.
Yeah.
We're doing one right now. We have to tell the clients they had a trust, the house was in it, they took the house out, gave it back to mom and dad, and then they put the house back in the trust. Well, they just proved to Medicaid that they can take the house out of the trust. So Medicaid's going to say, take the house out of the trust.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So you can't have it both ways. You have to give up something to get the protection. But we don't put everything in the trust. We start with how much money do you need to live on?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
We have a worksheet say, okay, especially for married couples, one of you will die first. What are your monthly expenses, and how much money will you have when each of you pass? Because you're going to lose at least one Social Security.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's make sure that, let's say the wife has enough money coming in every month to live her life. And if it's close, then we leave more money out of the trust because you got to live your life first, right? This is, I'm going to protect this If the worst happens, this is what the kids are going to get, but it's not going to affect my life.
But if someone seizes up and goes, well, I don't know what to put in the trust or what not to put in the trust. Let's say they sold their house. Let's say they have $500,000. And the $500,000, they're getting 10%, and it's kicking off $50,000 a year in income. Can they have that income or just the? They
can have the income, but know that income would go to the long-term care should you need it.
Okay. Yep. So that could be an income stream for folks. It's protected, and if they were going to take whatever that, a certain percentage every year, so that actually kind of works both ways. Is that in a revocable, irrevocable, or doesn't it matter?
Irrevocable. Revocable, you have no protection because you can take all the money.
So why should someone do it?
A revocable?
Yeah.
You don't care about long-term care or other creditors, right? We just had a call today or yesterday from a client. She's in our client care program. We've talked about that. Hey, John, I just was in an accident. It's my fault. I worried about my trust. So nice to call her and say, guess what? You don't have to worry. Everything in your trust is protected from your negligence.
Right.
Because you don't own it. We get a lot of calls where the value of what we do really shines and comes through. We got a call. I said this last time I was on here, correct me, but we just had a client who was killed in a car accident. And not their fault. And got a call from their daughter. What do we do next? And I walked her through it. I said, there's nothing to do right now other than be with your mom. The mom was in the hospital in ICU for a while. Bury your dad, mourn with your family, because we've taken care of everything on this end of it. I said, oh my God, so thankful that her parents had planned ahead. Really,
right.
It's nice that they planned ahead with us. Plan ahead. Right? Yeah. You're the only one that can do that for your family. Have a plan in place when disaster happens. That disaster might be long-term care. Certainly it's going to be at some time expiring, but it might be dying more quickly than you anticipated, right? Yeah. So just get a plan in place. And nothing we do can't be undone or changed. That's another thing people don't realize. You can change an irrevocable trust under New York law.
It doesn't sound changeable, does it, Tom?
No.
Irrevocable.
Well, change and revoke are two different words, right?
Correct.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
So when people come to you, I imagine you have different programs. Do you have like an all-inclusive program that includes the will and a trust and the Medicaid forms and putting it all together like in
No, those are two very distinct different things. Okay. Yeah. So someone in a nursing home, that's a Medicaid application. You wouldn't do that unless and until they need a nursing home.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? Because
you don't do it in advance.
You don't know when the 5 years that you're going to need is, right?
Right.
So sometimes we set up a trust when we're doing emergency Medicaid planning. A lot of times that will be with highly appreciated assets. So let's say you got stocks and they've doubled or tripled. If you give those to the kids, there's a tax implication. If we put it in a trust, we preserve some tax benefits so that when the parent dies, they don't have to pay capital gains tax.
Right. Yeah, so I was at a workshop last week up in Watertown that John was doing, and he held up a picture of a Medicaid app.
Yep.
How much does that thing weigh?
31 pounds, 12 ounces.
Huge. It was the biggest thing you ever saw. That's the paperwork that someone in the government would expect you or the Medicaid to fill out and answer all those questions. That was massive.
And people could do it on their own if they wanted to dare
they can,
dive in.
But most Medicaid applications are denied for failure to provide all the information requested.
Right.
People say, I sent them the 5 years of stuff. Well, Medicaid's going to say, what about this, what about this, what about this, what about this? They're going to say, I don't know, that's my mom's stuff.
But it's a spend down in Medicaid, too, to have an attorney do that properly, isn't it?
Yeah, Medicaid will actually pay for you to have me do it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if you have $200,000 too much money and you hire us to do the Medicaid application, Medicaid says, oh, that attorney's fees, that's fine.
All right.
Very nice.
So Safe Harbor Wills and Trust Wills questions, 370-9977, safeharborwillsandtrust.com. John Murphy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Hi, Judy.